Hi, it's Mark from EPG again. So we're going to start with our educational videos, new financial year, and we want to touch on a few subjects. I've been talking to a few clients lately and realised that superannuation there's a big question mark, it's a big unknown. And for me, it's really important, not only during the wealth accumulation phase, but in retirement. And that's basically because superannuation is more of a tax vehicle than an investment vehicle. So we're going to look at a few things. I'm going to give you some really simple tools and tips that are basic and that you should know, but you probably haven't done. And then we're going to look at an example to show you how important it is to start while you're young and start now. So I guess a few of the tips are, if you've got a few super funds, roll them into one. You're obviously paying fees in those different funds. And you want to make sure that you've got control of your money in one place that you can see, and you can distribute your wealth and make sure it's well diversified and invested the way it should be in relation to your goals. And if you've got it in one place, you can control it, you pay less fees. I guess another thing is most super funds have insurances attached to them, life, TPD, sometimes income protection. And it's good to know how much you've got, what types and levels of insurance, and it's easier to control obviously if you've got one super fund. There are a couple of the basic tips that I'd recommend. Just roll it into one, look at the insurances and see how that money is invested. If you're 30 and you're invested in cash, it's obviously not in line with your goals. You've still got another 25 years at least, and you should be a little bit more aggressive. That said, if you're in your mid to late 50s and you're all invested in shares, you might want to think about easing back. So you need to get that diversification right. Superannuation, I guess, one of the most important things is the tax concessions you get. While you're in wealth accumulation phase, basically you only pay 15% tax. So if you're earning, for example, 100,000 and you're paying close to 30% tax, you get a saving of 15% guaranteed instantly by salary sacrificing into super. Now, there are a whole heap of restrictions that you've got to be careful with, but if you're a high income earner, there's the first big saving you can make from a tax perspective. It's easy and it's guaranteed. And that's obviously before the returns that you get actually in the super fund. If you're a lower income earner, it might not make that much sense, but it does have a longer term positive outcome. So when you hit retirement, all the income generated through that super fund in pension phase is tax-free. Now, obviously the rules are constantly changing. That's why it's important to talk to an advisor, and the information that we're providing is general in nature, and we suggest that you talk to an advisor and look at your personal circumstances and see how this information can help you. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at an example of the difference it can make to salary sacrifice. So basically here we've got someone that's had a wage increase of about $5,000. So on our left column, this person's going to invest their money outside of super, and this person's going to invest it through super. Obviously, they've had a $5,000 raise. On this side, we're going to actually pay tax on it and invest the money outside super. So assuming he earns $100,000 and he's paying 38.5% tax, that's $1,925. So basically he's left with $3,075 to invest, which he will do outside of super. And in the right column, we've got $5,000 increase. There is no income tax, but he does pay a 15% contribution tax, which leaves him with a net of $4,250 to invest inside super, which is an extra $1,175. Now, assuming a 20-year period and that both investments perform equally, we're saying about 8%. So we're looking at about 4.5% growth, 3.5% income or distribution. Over a 20-year period, the difference is approximately $73,000. Now that's after paying tax on the income outside super and inside super. As you can see, that's a massive difference of $73,239. That's on a small amount, and it just shows us how important it is to start salary sacrificing and putting money into super. I always recommend superannuation as an investment vehicle. It's not the end all, and it's not the biggest part of your investment, but it is definitely a very important one when it comes to retirement. And that's not, we haven't even looked into the fact that once this person's retired, if they were to keep that money in the super fund and that was to generate an income, that income would be tax-free. That said, if it was invested outside super, he'd be paying tax at the marginal tax rate, obviously based on the income generated. So I hope that clarifies it a little bit. I know it's not easy, but that's why you have to talk to a financial planner. If you've got any questions or you need assistance, please don't hesitate to give us a call or email us. Happy to help, and until next time, thank you, bye.